हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, कैसे हैं आप सब। टुडे वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट आवर यूनिट नंबर 10, दैट इज ट्रेनिंग एंड डोपिंग इन स्पोर्ट्स. In this unit we will talk about principles of the sports training, type of the warming up, importance of the warming up, skill, technique and style, classification of the doping, prohibited substances, side effect of the prohibited substances, harmful effect of the alcohol and harmful effect of the alcohol and substances use. So first, we will talk about the sports training. What is the meaning of the sports training? So basically, it is a complex process which trains the players to get the better at the sports competitions. Okay, so basically, sports training is the physical, technical, intellectual, psychological, and the moral preparation of an athlete by means of the physical exercise. Training provides the athlete with the basic means to adapt to his particular stresses throughout the controlled exercise. Okay, so the sports training is the basic form of the preparation of the sportsman. The preparation of the sportsman, that is the multi-sided process of the purposeful utilization of the total complex of the factors like means, methods and conditions which help in the development of the sportsman and ensure a necessary level of his sport performance ability. Okay, some major tasks also included in the sports training like to bring out positive change in the athlete attitude, habits and behavior patterns, to accelerate growth and development processes to the athlete through the regular physical activities in the consideration if in consideration of the individual characteristics, to make the athlete highly skillful technically and tactically to the level of the perfection, to instill the qualities of the character in the athlete through active interaction with the environment and ensure his personality development, to improve the athlete performance, potential and efficiency with the progressively increasing workloads, to make the sports person self-sufficient but not self-competent in the dealing with all kinds of the competitive situations, to condition the athlete both physically and mentally to withstand the high risk and performance demands on the sports. Okay, so if we talk about the principle of the sports training, we will discuss all principles one by one. So the first principle is principle of continuity. Okay, students. So in this, the training session should be in the continuous process so that the players make their movements more efficient and there should not be any break. The second principle is principle of the overload. Okay, so it states that there should be a great than the normal load on the body for the some time and adaptation is done for that level of the overload so that it improves the fitness. The principle of the individual differences said that every sport person is different due to the individual differences and their response to the exercise will definitely different. So the trainers modify the training program on the basis of the individual differences which leads to the balanced training sessions. In the principle of the specificity, in this, the training load is given based on the specific requirements of the particular sports like the endurance training that is required for the long distance runners and yogi required more flexibility enhancing programs. In the principle of the warm up and the cool down, every sports person instructs to do warm up and the cooling down exercises before and after the competitions so that the blood flows smoothly in the working muscles. In the principle of the recovery, rest is always required for the body to recover from the exertion of the training and the adaptation take place frequently. In the principle of the variances, constant repetition of the similar training may develop the feelings of the stimulus, so the training must be planned with different challenges so that they can play the entertaining games in between their training. Okay. So all these principles of sports training, like sports training in an individual affair, principle of the balance, overloading, reversibility, principle of the specificity, sports training, that is the educative affairs, principle of the transfer, principle of the relations, all these principles of the sports training are very, very important. Now let's talk about the warm-up. What is warm-up? Basically, warming up is a short-term activity carried out prior to any server or the skilled activity. One can say that the warming up is an initial workout before the commencement of a server activity or a competition. By doing such a workout, one tries to bring the group of the muscles expected to take part in the activity to follow in a state of the readiness to respond efficiently. Okay, so warming up prepares the muscles for the vigorous actions and it is a short-term activity which is undertaken before the competition. These are some types of the warming up, like the psychological warming up that makes the athlete mentally to bear the stress. It is given 1 to 2 days before the competition and ends up a few hours before the competitions. Okay. Second is psychological warming up. Physiological warming up, it makes the body physically ready to bear any competitive type of the stress. Now, if we talk about the active warming up, okay, in the active warming up, it can be performed by doing in two ways of the exercises, which are first, general warming up like jogging, running, stretching exercises, calisthenics, striding, sprints. These are the general exercises for the enhancing the abilities and the flexibility of the muscles and joints. Then come up specific warming up. In this, specific exercises are planned for the enhancing the skills of the particular sports. It is performed after the general method, like a basketball player can practice layout shot before the state of the play. Okay. Then some specific exercises are performed in such particular sports like the basketball, in a dribbling, shooting, layout, shoot, dodging, free throw, in a cricket like bowling, catching, batting and fielding, in a badminton like servicing, strokes, bending forward, backward and the sideways, smashing. These all are the types of the warming up. In a passive warming up, it does not involve any exercise. Some additional measures are used which are given like massage of the body, use of the infrared lamp, diathermy, steam bath, sauna bath, hot water bath by giving the beverages. Okay. Okay, so these are the various type of the warming up. Now let's talk about the what is the importance of the warming up. Okay. So if we talk about the importance of the warming up, it is increase the heart rate, circulation to our muscles, and prepare us to mentally for workout. Like increase body temperature, warming up increase the temperature by 1 or 2 degree, which is beneficial to sports person for the avoid any type of the injuries. For the avoid injuries, these exercises tone up the muscles before the competition so that the chances of injury are reduced. Muscle tearing and cramps are common. That is occurred due to the lack of the warming up exercises and reduces anxiety and tension. That is important to be physically fit but mentally as well, as because a good decision may lead to win at the time of the competition. Okay. Flexibility, through the warming up we can exert the force more to the maximum level because it increases the flexibility. In the increases metabolic rate, that increase the metabolic rate which ultimately enhance the energy level. If the metabolic rate is higher, there will be higher production of the energy. Increase the strength, it is important component of the physical fitness, and the requirement of the physical fitness is vital in the performance of the sports person. Now let's talk about the limbering down. What is limbering down? So limbering down basically the relaxes muscle. It relaxes the muscles. Okay, after doing the vigorous actions, and it is a short exercise which is undertaken after the competition. So basically we can say limbering down helps in the faster recovery from the fatigue, muscle soreness, and makes possible relief from the edges and pains as a result from the hard and strenuous physical workout that ensure both physical and the mental relaxation coupled with a sense of the satisfaction. The warming down activities should be recreational and bring about wellness and invigorate human spirit for the another strenuous efforts. Okay. Now let's talk about the skill, techniques and the styles. Okay. So if we talk about this, what is skill? So a skill is the ability of the whole movement which comes from the training. Skill are of various kinds like shooting in basketball, serving in badminton, volleyball and overhead throw in the football. Okay. So we can divide it skill in the following categories. First is cognitive skills. It is the ability of an individual to perform the various mental activities which are associated with the learning and problem solving. It comprises through the processes like calculations or the cricket calculating the run rate. Attention skills, that is the ability to remain focused and on task for the longer duration. Memory, that is the ability of the athlete to memorize and recall information. Logical reasoning, the ability of an athlete to think logically and learn those skills. Auditory processing, that is the ability to listen carefully, often leads to do better learning of the skills. Visual processing, that is An athlete is having ability to perceiving and analyzing while learning. Perceptual skills, that means relating to the way people interpret and understand what they see or notice. Motor skills, that is the ability of the body to perform the muscular activities in the better coordination. If we talk about the techniques, a technique is a method of the doing some task scientifically, like taking a block, start in 100-meter race, that is a technique, and a high jump as scissors, straddle, and Fosbury flop is a technique of the movements. First, we talk about scissors technique, in which the bar is approached diagonally and the jumper throw both legs over the bar in a scissoring motion. In a second straddle technique, the jumper take off but using the stronger leg to take off before thrusting the other leg up to push the body sideways over the bar. In the Fosbury technique in 1986, Dick Fosbury flop introduced this bat throwing over the bar, head, shoulders first and landing on its back. Okay. Let's talk about the style. What is style? The technique that is learned, but every individual executes those techniques in their own way and they are characterized as a style. For example, in cricket, there is a lot of bowling and batting techniques, but players exhibit their own styles and become popular in the world. Like MS Dhoni helicopter style. Similarly, in bowling, Lassit Malika has its own style. Okay. So students, today we have discussed about the skill, technique and style. Okay, also we have talked about the warming up, importance of the warming up. Okay, and we have talked also about the principles of the sports training. And in our next lecture, we will talk about the doping techniques. What is doping? What is the basic classification of doping and all that. Okay, I hope आपको lecture पसंद आया होगा. Thank you very much.